Confident. I want to bring in Walser Wealth Management President Rebecca Walser. Rebecca, did I get it right?
That's a great way to describe me. Yes, I think that's
so you're
right.
always cheerful, you're always confident, you're always upbeat, but you do have concerns. And I want to ask you, because I brought this up throughout the show, do your concerns become even more magnified when you see people ignore the data or write it off every day? Every morning on financial TV, especially, the PPI was high because yada yada, and you know things that you say to yourself. Well, when they put the estimates together, didn't they know it was going to be winter? You know, weird things like that. You know, all week long, all the data has been written off as a no biggie.
Yes. You know, it actually reminds me, not to bring this up, Charles, but it actually reminds me of 3 of the 4 largest bank failures we've ever had occurred last year. And every time we were able to somehow get away with what's isolated, it's idiosyncratic. It's just this bank. And even the Fed this week said, New York Community Bank, you know, oh, well, they had rent control. It's very, no, we have a commercial real estate crisis since 2020. It's twofold. It's a changing of the actual, you know, way people use office space, and it's higher cost of capital. And those 2 things are going to be very problematic. But yeah, hot CPI, hot PPI, and yet the market keeps seeming to bring it back to everything is great.
Everything is great. Now, I understand, like, you know, listen, there's sort of a hysteria kind of feel. Buy the dip works. And even when you think about Alan Greenspan's irrational exuberance.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think about a lot lately.
But the market stayed irrational for another 4 years. So it's hard to pinpoint. You know, we know something is not right, but on the other side, you're trying to make money.
Yeah.
I mean, you have people, you know, you help a lot of people. They've got to come to you and say, Rebecca, we're with you on this, but golly, my nephew just made $1 gazillion.
FOMO.
Yeah.
All of the fear of missing out is the bane of my existence right now, because people want protection and safety, which I believe, Charles, we are in the largest global economic transition in the history of time ever. And that's not being hyperbolic. That is the truth. We are going through a transition from unipolarity to multipolarity and de-dollarization. It is happening. Watch Putin's interview with Tucker Carlson. It's an example of exactly, and it's not that you agree with Putin. It's just showing you what a country that used to really leverage international trade in dollars no longer doing that.
Right.
And then you've got petrodollar threats. You've got all of these threats. But I would point to, different from the 4 years and you don't know when the bottom's going to come, is this inverted yield curve, Charles. We have not had an inverted yield curve this long since August 78 to May of 80. We're about to pass in a couple of months. And that fundamentally tells you something is broken in the system. You cannot have banks that have higher short-term rates than longer-term rates. It is an end. It's a death knell for the banking system. And we rely on our banking system to give us liquidity for our consumption-based economy.
Right. And even though the Fed has come through with all kinds of different programs, one's going to expire, they'll probably replace it with a different one.
They'll have to.
I just got 30 seconds. And how do people protect themselves?
Well, again, because I believe it's a transitionary time period and we are seeing irrational exuberance, I think that you have to be in commodities, you have to be in hard assets that really do well in transitions. Be in equities, but make sure that you're hedging your downside risk. I'm not saying not to be in equities and miss out completely on the rally that happens, but make sure you understand that this is a transition.
So, and make sure you're hedged.
Make sure
you're
hedged.
Hedging is very cheap these days because everyone believes it's not going to go down.
Exactly.
All right, Rebecca, great stuff.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.